You go to sleep on the 31st of December 2020 and wake up the next day, but when you check your phone, it says January 1st, 2020. After the first couple of days you realize it's just like Groundhog Day. What do you do with the information you have about 2020? Get a haircut in February. Start a Twitch, YouTube channel that predicts 2020 accurately and have everyone think I'm Nostradamus. I'd probably go to California and just tell a couple what gender their kid would be. I can't stop a pandemic, but I can halt a wildfire. Edit. Thank you everyone for the awards, much appreciated. IDK, cry, invest, reset, repeat. Sell all the stocks in February and buy Tesla calls in March. I'm gonna be real sad because I just spent the year losing a ton of weight, and I don't want to start over. Off to New Zealand. This is the canonical explanation for the TP hoarders. Invest in Zoom, toilet paper, hand sanitizer. Hang out with people while I still cannot take the little things for granted. Well, the cancer was probably already terminal, so I just try to see my mom before all the flights were cancelled. Backup 4.5 years of PhD research data before an accidental wipe removed all of it back in February. Edit. Wow, this blew up. Thanks for the kind people giving awards. I'm trying to respond to all the comments. But one thing I'll just mention here: most of the data lost was work I published by then, so it would have been nice to keep the codes, but losing them wasn't a major loss. But one work was unpublished. Thankfully it was recent, so I was able to rewrite the code from memory and publish it 2 months ago. So the damage was mostly controlled, thankfully. My professor is a very considerate person and didn't get pissed off as much as he could have. And now I back up everything religiously. So lesson learned without significant lasting damage, thankfully. Second edit. Since my comment confused people, I'll explain what happened. IT needed to upgrade the PC's firmware, and asked me to back up everything before giving it to them, since they would wipe the HDD. I copied everything to Dropbox, and once it copied only the subfolders, for some reason gave the green tick mark that means copying was done, so I didn't double check and just gave it to them. I realized what happened later on, and by then they wiped the PC and turned the bits, so it was unrecoverable. Since my fiasco, IT enacted the policy that they will always back up the HDD of any PC before wiping it. Show my husband just how much I love him and appreciate him. Hug him longer, kiss him harder, squeeze his warm hands, laugh with him, record his voice, take more pics of him and of us together, not sweat the small stuff, be silly with him, savor every meal he made me, stare into his eyes and marvel in their clarity and sparkle. Lay my head on his chest to hear his heartbeat every day. He died in May at age 31. I'd give anything to wake up tomorrow and see his bright blue eyes. Edit. Oh my goodness, I wrote this at about 3 a.m. and then went to sleep. I had no idea it was caused this much attention. Thank you to everyone who has commented, sent me well wishes and love, and thank you for all of the lovely awards. Not sure I deserve so much kindness, but I sure as hell appreciate it. He left our house walking, talking and smiling back at me as he got into the ambulance, and less than 24 hours later I felt his heart stop under my hand. He was already sedated when I arrived at the hospital, so I am not even sure he knew I was there, but I pray he did. No one deserves to think they are dying alone. He was the light of my life, my best friend, and I miss him more than even I can comprehend. Don't sweat the small stuff, folks. In the end, it rarely ever matters. Peace and love to you all. Tell Nevada to start counting mail-in ballots before the election day. I would go to the doctor in early January to check on my kidneys. Maybe we could save them. Don't have sex with so-and-so because they have herpes. I'd tell my dad to go see his doctor. He got his cancer diagnosis in May. Might have had a better shot if they'd found it in January. Edit. Thank you so much for your well wishes, kind words and shiny badges, friends. I'm sorry for not replying to everyone, but it's nearly 3 a.m. now and I'll head to bed. My dad is the most stubborn optimist, and I'll just follow his lead. Thanks again, and I hope the kindness you've shown me tonight comes back to you. I'd sit my brother down, tell him how much I love him, and hug him till my arms give out. I'd tell him how much I miss when we were kids and spent every day together. He was my twin born 2 years late and I'd give up everything to see him again. I would beg him not to go out that night. I would schedule a camping trip and we'd have so much fun.